Okay, now I know about history, but tattoos really hurt. I know you really like tattoos on all over your body, but we have some celebrities who knows everything about tattoos. Number one, Kristen Bell, and number two, Kat Von D. Let's talk about arm tattoos all over your arm. Let's see what they have to say about their tattoos on their arms.
I have 214 professional tattoos, and 9 I've done myself. Each piece of art represents something different. Taz here represents a whirlwind past relationship. I have Steve Urkel on my left shoulder blade and Stefan Urkel on my right, representing the duality of man.
But this tattoo here, this is a Vargas painting, I think from 1942, and this was my first black and gray portrait tattoo that I got. Like, this is after I got this tattoo, I pretty much only got black and gray. Like, I mean, I got a few color tattoos since, but this is the one that kind of reinvented Kat Von D, and that's why like Pete Castro, I owe a lot to that guy. You know, he did this whole entire arm, and when I was like 18 years old. So this is the one that I learned from the most, just because it was hours of watching when I was really young, and I could absorb a lot at the time. You know, so one of my main influences is this guy, and that's how he's one of the reasons that I like to do single needle tattooing, which a lot of people don't do still.
Chinese symbols, you know, this one means dolphin, this one means butterfly, and I think this one means princess. The first tattoo I ever got was in 7th grade. I really loved my headgear.
Do you regret any of them?
No. Well, probably the tribal band on my wrist. I mean, it's kind of outdated.
Surely not.
Do you have a favorite?
Yeah. This is a tattoo of a tattooed tween listening to the bands Tattoo and Ween on the planet Tatooine. It's from the Star Wars universe.
This tattoo here, I got when I was 14 or 15. It was really crappy. I got it done out of some guy's house, you know, who didn't know what he was doing. It was all like homemade machines, like guitar string, and it was just really a bad tattoo. It was a big tattoo, it was dark, and I couldn't cover it up. So I've been lasering it the past few years. I've gone 5 sessions, and it hurts. It definitely hurts way more than getting a tattoo. Even though the sessions are a lot shorter, like it takes about 5 minutes a session to do this, but I've gone 5 times, and it's pretty much like burning your skin off, but it's lightened up enough to where I can cover it now, so I'm gonna have Chris Garver cover it up eventually. So this is a portrait of my sister Carolyn. My sister, we you know, growing up together, she was my best friend, so, and she's still my best friend, but we're super close. She got my portrait on her arm, and I got hers on mine. So, and Carolyn got the portrait of me on her upper arm though. But Carolyn was stoked when she saw this tattoo. Like back then, I just remember like, man, that's so cool. I can't wait to get yours. And then she got mine, and like, I don't know, we're really close, you know. Like, even though we're like polar opposites, like we get along really good. And I don't know. She's my homie. So she was pretty stoked when she saw it. She's 2 years older than me, but she's like my baby sister, you know, like physically she's like this small and tiny and skinny and like real cute and mousy, and like, so I don't know, she's always like calls me for advice, and like, you know, growing up it was like I was going out with my friends and she would be like, I want to go, and my mom would be like, come on, take your sister, you know what I mean, like role reversal. But now I think, you know, we're all old enough to where we all learn from each other, but she's still my little sister, you know. I scold her all the time, and I, you know, tell her what to do, push her around.
Okay, let's talk about tattoos on their legs. Let's talk about that. Let's see what they have to say about their tattoos on their legs.
This tattoo right here, this J, that was my first tattoo that I got when I was 14 years old by some guy out of his house, and it was a guy I dated named James, and he was my first love, my first boyfriend, and then I don't know, 3 years later we broke up, but now it stands for Jesus. I got the portrait of Oliver, my husband, right after we got married. Tim did that one as well. And it's kind of like a funny thing because he always has a toothpick in his mouth, and so I just took a picture of him like making a funny face, and we put the toothpick, and it looks just like him. And he always wears like, you know, town crap flannel shirts from the 50s, so I thought it was cool, something I could look at every time I go pee. Like this one is all outlined, and I have an appointment this year to get it finished, so Juan Puente did it. It's pretty much one of my biggest color tattoos. I don't really get a lot of color. If I do, it's on this leg. So he also did the this anatomically correct heart a little while back. It's like, that's probably one of my favorite colored tattoos that I have. And most of my tattoos really don't mean anything. I just like to get stuff that I like to look at, that I think is cool. I don't really care about meaning, you know? I don't really read into it too much.
I have a butterfly for each year the South African apartheid was enacted, so that's 72 butterflies.
It's extraordinary.
This was a tattoo that I got at the Boston Tattoo Convention a couple years back by Ron Earhart. He's a tattooer from San Jose, and we became friends at convention and stuff. And 040404, that was on January, March, April 4th, 2004. This was on the 5th of May of 2005. This Pec por Vida, this little tiny one, Oliver did that on me for Valentine's Day, our first Valentine's Day together. The reindeer getting shot, that's a great story because we have this old sheet of flash from the 70s. It's got like all this biker imagery on it, and just like far out like designs that like most people would normally, I don't know, not really get. And at our shop we would just like party and then like put this big poster like on the floor and then close our eyes and toss a quarter, and wherever that quarter lands, that's the tattoo you get. And that's where my quarter landed, on the reindeer getting shot, jumping over a barbed wire fence. This is the most painful tattoo I've ever gotten in my life. It goes all the way from the back of my knee like to the top of my butt. And we like barely got to get through the entire outline just because it hurt so much. This little crease right here where your leg meets your butt is the most painful tattoo ever. I'm contemplating ever really finishing it, but Oliver did that for me, and it's the only tattoo I pretty much cried on. It was pretty bad. I don't want to do it again.
If you think about getting a tattoo on your body, whew, man, you're gonna have lots of problems if you get a tattoo on your body, because that will skin your life. Guys, leave me a comments of how not to get a tattoo all over your body or having a full bodysuit. Subscribe.